Errol Spence exposes Terence Crawford and how he wanted Al Haymon to advise him, but he wanted Al Haymon to advise him for free. Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Now, we all know that the biggest fight in boxing between Errol the Truth Spence and Terence Bud Crawford, it ain't going down no more. And the reason it's not going down is because of Terence Crawford. And there's multiple reasons it's not going down because Terence Crawford. Not only that he snuck out the back door and signed a whole different promotional deal with another company to get a whole different fight. Well, Terence Crawford had a lot of things that he was doing in the negotiations. And the one biggest thing that stood out to me is how Errol Spence exposed that Terence Crawford wanted Al Haymon to advise him, but he wanted him to advise him for free. And this is what I'm about to get into, and I'm gonna explain to y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Now, a lot of people are doing videos, doing live streams about whose fault it was. And a lot of Terence Crawford fans are giving him every way out. They're not putting none of the blame on Terence Crawford, right? Knowing that he was in the middle of negotiations with PBC to fight Errol Spence and he pulled out. He didn't tell them anything. He didn't even go to them and say, look, I talked with another company. They willing to give me this amount of money up front. What can y'all do? Can y'all match it? No, that man went silent for 2 whole weeks, right? And then out of the blue pops up that he made a whole nother deal with a different promotional company and a Rudy Poot ass fight. This man is dirty. You can't trust nothing that he does. You can't even listen and believe nothing that he says because he's lied over and over again. And I'm gonna give y'all some examples of how he's lied over and over again, right? He ran with a full campaign that Errol Spence was scared of him, that Errol Spence was ducking, that him and Bob Arum had been trying to make the fight, but PBC and Errol Spence, they was afraid to make the fight. They wouldn't respond back to their request. Bob Arum was trying to do everything to make the fight, to turn around and then tell the truth and tell you that Bob Arum never tried to make the fight. I'm leaving Bob Arum because I asked him to make the Errol Spence fight and he didn't do that. He didn't try to make the fight. You also knew it was a lie because Bob Arum came and he said, you know, the fight is not big enough yet. Who's gonna pay for it? And all type of excuses letting you know that Bob Arum and Terence Crawford never got behind the scenes together and tried to make the Errol Spence fight, you know? And then when he left Bob Arum, he told Bob Arum right to his face, you never tried to make the Errol Spence fight. So I'm taking my talent somewhere else. I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? This man lies over and over again. And then he did another interview right after he left Bob Arum and said, you know what? Errol Spence has always wanted to fight just like me. It was the politics and the higher ups that was stopping the fight from happening. So man, you can't listen to nothing this man says. Also, he's told you that the fight was behind him, that he wouldn't take the fight unless it was 50-50, that he don't need Errol Spence, that the fight is not happening for people to stop asking him for it. Then after saying all of that, he turns around and did another interview and said, you know what? It ain't even about money to me. If I was Errol Spence, I'm confident in my abilities and it don't even matter how much I make. I would just take the fight to show everybody that I'll beat his ass. I don't think that Errol Spence is confident in his ability because if he fights me, he's going to try to make the most money possible in case he loses. But what happened? Terence Crawford, when the negotiations started and came in his face, he did exactly what he said Errol Spence was gonna do. So you cannot listen to nothing this man is gonna say. And now he wanted Al Haymon to advise him for free. So just in case y'all didn't catch it, on the phone call, the leaked phone call or whatever it's supposed to be, when Errol Spence was talking about what was going on in the negotiations at the time, and yeah, that was just a couple weeks ago, y'all. You know, when Errol Spence was talking about what was going on, he said that Terence Crawford was being hella difficult. Terence Crawford told him on the phone call, yeah, they talked on the phone call. So when Bernie did his live show and told y'all that Errol Spence ain't never called and Errol Spence could have called Terence Crawford and they could have talked, nah, it was a lie. Errol Spence did call him and they did talk. And he revealed that when they talked to each other, Terence Crawford was telling Errol Spence that he didn't trust his lawyers. He didn't trust the people around him. So he wanted to be able to sit down with Al Haymon and for Al Haymon basically to give him the game. For Al Haymon to show him the ins and the outs. For Al Haymon to open up all the books and show him where all of the money is coming from. For Al Haymon to basically advise him, right? But didn't want to pay no advisor fee to Al Haymon to get the game. See, the thing is, right, is you want Al Haymon to show you all these things, right? So you want him to open up the books. When he opens up the books, he got to show you where all of the money is coming from. The concession stand, from the stadium fees, to silent investors, everything that's involved in this fight, he's supposed to show you. You dig what I'm saying? That's what he was asking for. But Al Haymon is not your advisor. That's for your lawyers to get that shit straightened out, right? That's for your lawyers to find out. But you telling Errol Spence that you don't trust your lawyers and you want to sit down with Al Haymon and you want Al Haymon to go over everything with you and give you the game. But Al Haymon don't work for you. You know what I'm saying? Part of Al Haymon's job, how he gets paid, is he gets an advisor fee from all of his fighters. But you could have hired Al Haymon as your advisor. But you told everybody that you not fucking with Al Haymon, that you don't want nothing to do with Al Haymon. But turn around and want Al Haymon to give you the game and show you the ins and outs for free? That ain't how shit work. Al Haymon is not obligated to do shit for Terence Crawford. Al Haymon works for Errol Spence, not Terence Crawford. So that's what you knucklehead ass niggas need to get through your head. Al Haymon don't owe Terence Crawford shit. That's up for Terence Crawford and his team to handle that, right? All Al Haymon got to tell you is, look, here's the deal. You either accept it or you don't. And if you don't accept it, you can send us something right back and we can go back and forth and negotiate like we've been doing. But see, what he did, what Terence Crawford snake ass did, is he demanded more things in the contract, right? So we sent it back to him. They put what he wanted in the contract, and this is from Errol Spence's own mouth. They put what he wanted in the contract, and they waiting on Terence Crawford so they can get the deal done because they gave him everything that he wanted in the contract, right? In the contract that they sent back, they gave him everything that he asked for. And then this nigga goes silent for 14 days. Well, why did he go silent? Because he was negotiating with BLK Prime on some underhanded shit, didn't even have good faith to go to PBC and let them know, you know what? These people, they got another deal on the table, so I'm thinking of taking this deal, right? Unless y'all got something better for me. You could have at least did that shit, but you blindsided them. And then for all you niggas talking about, oh, well, it doesn't matter, the fight wasn't gonna happen until 2023 anyway. Well, on that phone call that Errol Spence did, you heard Errol Spence say, we're looking at January. We're looking at early January to have the fight. So if they were looking at early January 2023 to have a fight, why would this nigga take a fight in December of 2022? Why would he take a fight less than a month ahead of what they was looking at? You see what I'm saying? And then y'all running around talking about it doesn't affect the Errol Spence fight. Oh yeah, it does affect the fight. First of all, it pushes the fight back because Terence Crawford can't turn around, right, in less than a month time and have a whole nother training camp to fight Errol Spence, right, and then go in the fight. You can't do that. It's not even realistically Impossible. He ain't finna do that in a fight of this magnitude. He ain't never did it. So you expect him to do something that he's never done in a fight of this magnitude? No, it pushes the fight back. And when Blue Blood was on my channel talking, he said, well, you know, they could look at March or May or somewhere like that. You expect Errol Spence to sit around and wait for this shit to happen in March or May, probably get pushed out to June for you, and they couldn't even get a deal done with you in 7 months they was negotiating on the hopes that you do the right thing and don't back out again? Ain't nobody waiting around for you. You fucked up the whole fight. Terence Bud Crawford fucked up the whole fight because he didn't want the fight. He huffed and puffed and bluffed, but he didn't want the fight. And then he had the nerve enough to complain and want Al Haymon to advise him for free. But then, in the same breath, run around talking about that he wasn't fucking with Al Haymon. Make it make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So for all y'all saying that Terence Crawford didn't stop the fight from happening, that Terence Crawford taking the fight on December 10th has no weight on Errol Spence and himself fighting each other in 2023, it does. When you heard Errol Spence tell you time and time again, look, I can't stay at this weight for much longer. The only reason I'm at this weight is for a Terence Crawford fight. I'm fighting Terence Crawford and I'm moving up to 154. Or if I don't get the Terence Crawford fight, I'm moving up to 154 because he is the only reason I'm staying at 147. Y'all make it make sense to me. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Y'all hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and if y'all like the content and want to support the grind, the Cash App is in the bio and it's highly appreciated. I appreciate y'all. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.